Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. Puerto Rico, with its white sands and beautiful ocean vistas, is the perfect setting for a romantic getaway for a couple. In Wednesday's episode, one pair of lovers solidifies their relationship while in Puerto Rico. Could this be the duo of Vanessa and Joey? And if so, what an excellent distraction for Vanessa while Joey sorts out problems back home. Said no one. No one wants to be in Doug's shoes right now. Doug has shot himself in the foot, so to speak, by trusting Bill Hamilton and not Randy. But that could be the least of Doug's problems right now. As in Wednesday's episode, Doug's night goes from bad to worse. It won't take much to spell a stormy night for Doug, and his careless attitude, and she'll be right plodding around, is going to be his downfall. Not even Randy can help Doug this time, we fear. When retaliation comes, it'll be coming straight out of the blue, as Doug has no idea that Bill ratted him out to Joey. In Wednesday's episode, Naomi suffers a heartbreaking loss. So far, on Beyond the Gates, Naomi has managed to dodge the bullets when it comes to loss and heartbreak, being married to Jacob and stable in their relationship. The most significant blows thus far have been the breakup of her parents' marriage and the kidnapping of her sister. The Duprees will have another family member to rally around, as they do these days. June's new career in waitressing has been a roller coaster ride since she started, with diners often being surprised by her guesses of their orders, and the exact opposite being delivered. Close to being fired, June continues to put her big smile on blast, and she sure is fun to watch. In Wednesday's episode, June saves the day. Something as simple as being the hero once could be just the self-esteem boost June needs. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Thursday, September 25th, 2025. Expect a big shakeup in Fatermont Crest soap fans. This week promised to be big, and it's delivering. Danny and Andre had a drunken wedding, and Joey and Marcel are up to no good. That's clear. In Thursday's episode, two major revelations rock Fairmont Crest, which causes Jacob to deliver some earth-shattering news. The only people we see Jacob delivering news to are either Vanessa or Derek, and bets are on Vanessa being the one about to have her world rocked. Vanessa will take the news from Jacob while in bed with Mr. Joey Armstrong, who doesn't look at all surprised to see this happening, as if he had organized it. If that's the case, what has happened to Doug? One more day left in the week, and we know what that means. Friday cliffhangers, our favorite day of the week. With these big revelations hitting Fairmont Crest in Thursday's episode, Anita and Vernon plunge themselves into damage control mode. This is a situation typical for the Dupree elders at this point, and they do what they do best. Keeping the family together while they heal is their skill set, and they do it well. Meanwhile, Bill and Haley are also forced to deal with the emotional fallout. Something big is coming this way, and we are not ready for it. Beyond the Gates is priming us for the biggest storylines ever, and we are just getting warmed up. It all starts with Jacob delivering some earth-shattering news, and the story unfolds from there. We still have unanswered questions regarding Haley and Randy, and how they know each other, and whether their master plan involves Bill and his money or something else entirely. Strap in, soap fans, as we're once again close to Friday, and another big finish, just like only this soap can deliver. Danny and Andre wake up in Hangover City, neither completely aware of what they did the night before. Slowly, majorly clued in by their matching cigar band rings and a marriage certificate, the two realize that they did, in fact, tie the knot. Coming to grips with reality, Danny admits there is no one I would rather not remember marrying than you. With that, they prepare to head home and deal with the consequences of their impulsive actions. Martin and Samantha are hanging at Orphe Jean's so the young woman can spend time with her mom, June. Sweet as that is, the fact that they are doing this behind Smitty's back becomes yet another issue between the husbands. "You are risking our relationship in order to score cool points with our kid," snaps Smitty. He insists that any future visits between their kids and June must involve a family member being present. Samantha gets very good advice from her mom. Meanwhile, Smitty arrives at the diner and has a confrontation with Marcel. If the crooked cop ever crosses the line again, the journalist warns, he'll release the secret-filled profile he wrote about the guy. Smitty then tells June he's not thrilled with her spending time with the kids, but will allow it if they insist. That said, if she hurts them, he'll cut her out of their lives for good. Derek moves into Ashley's apartment, and things get awkward quickly. Alone with Jacob, Derek's attempt to hide the ring he got Ashley leads to him accidentally cluing in his pal to the fact he's getting feelings back in his legs. Derek begs Jacob not to tell Ashley, as he wants to avoid giving her false hope. "I'm not asking for your approval," the fireman says, "just your silence." By episode's end, Naomi and Jacob are raising a toast to Derek and Ashley, but it's clear that Jacob isn't comfortable with the situation. Things are tense between Vanessa and Doug when they get together at Uptown. Worse, he shocks her with the news that he's planning to join a high-stakes poker game. Their argument gets increasingly nasty, especially on his end. Finally, he puts his cards on the table. "Why'sh you give up your vices, and I'll give up mine," he says before walking out. Joey enters and suggests that he and Vanessa take a romantic trip to Puerto Rico. She's tempted, and he eventually persuades her to pack her bags and go with him. The BTG drunk wedding was one for the books. Beyond the Gates gave fans some much-needed laughs with the wedding of Andre and Danny. The drunken Vegas wedding was great to watch, especially with an Anita lookalike officiating the ceremony, but it has also left us with some questions. As Soap Hub reported, one of those questions is whether Danny and Andre will be short-lived or stand the test of time. Another question is all about Bill. Chelsea's kidnapping made it crystal clear that Bill isn't quite over Danny. Their chemistry was on fire, and not just in a parent being worried about their child kind of way. Even though Bill doubled down on his love and marriage to Haley, something tells us he's not going to love Danny marrying Andre. Bill will no doubt lose his mind, which will be oh so entertaining for fans to watch. BTG fans flooded X with comments on Bill's reaction, including one that read, "Bill going to be hotter than fish grease when he finds out Danny is married. We'll see how happily married Bill is once he finds out about Danny and Andre," wrote a different fan. One fan expressed, "Bill is going to flip when Danny and Andre pop back into town married. I can't wait." Ignoring the fact that Danny and Andre got drunk and had a Vegas wedding for the joy to come when Bill finds out and internally loses it, said a fan. There's no question it will be nice to have Danny shove Andre in Bill's face after what he did to her with Haley. The fallout of his marriage is going to ruffle a lot of feathers in Fairmont Crest. However, Bill's reaction is the one to watch for sure. It wouldn't be surprising if Bill pulls out the "I still love you" card to get Danny away from Andre. However, don't expect him to dump Haley over it. The marriage may send Bill into Danny's for a hot second, but he isn't going to give up his child bride that easily. And Haley certainly won't just let Bill walk away from her. Buckle up, BTG fans, things are heating up. Two revelations are shaking up Fairmont Crest, one of which has Anita and Vernon in damage control mode. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, September 25th, 2025, tease two revelations that are about to shake up Fairmont Crest. Jacob will have to share some shocking news while Anita and Vernon do damage control. The Duprees can't catch a break. Anita and Vernon will have to deal with another family crisis that will tear them apart. Nothing can be kept safe beyond these gates, so the two will have to plunge themselves into damage control mode. What is the devastating news that they will get this time around? Can their family stay together after what's been revealed? This episode will be a doozy. Fairmont Crest will be hit with a pair of shocking revelations. Jacob will have to deliver some earth-shattering news to someone. Who is he spilling the tea on? Does it have something to do with Derek, who's been keeping a secret? Meanwhile, Bill and Haley will also find themselves involved in drama of some kind. Now, they will have to deal with the emotional fallout. Fairmont Crest can't escape the family drama. These revelations will have everyone questioning everything, including their loyalty and their relationships. This could even shake up the status quo. Here's what went down Tuesday, September 23, 2025 on Beyond the Gates. When Derek got tested by the book being thrown at him, June had advice for every month, and Vanessa decided to use her air miles. On Beyond the Gates, Danny and Andre were sleeping off their binge in Las Vegas, where each had dreams about marrying each other with an Anita Williams impersonator as the officiant. A ringing hotel room phone snapped them out of it, the noise being shrill to them. Andre clumsily answered the phone and was told they had missed checkout. "When did we check in?" Danny asked in discomfort. The hungover pair was uncertain of where they were. Danny thought they were on a cruise ship. Each faulted the other with starting their boozing the previous night, and Danny vaguely recalled a conversation about going someplace. When Andre checked his phone and announced that they were in Vegas, Danny became flustered and was sure they had lost a ton of money gambling. The two had glimmers of being with Anita, prompting Danny to ask, "Was that a bottle in front of me or a full frontal lobotomy?" However, when Andre and Danny both realized they were sporting wedding bands, they put their heads together regarding their fragmented memories and hypothesized they'd been married by an Anita double, though there seemed to be no physical proof. But then Danny spied the marriage certificate, and their legal union became all too real. Neither newlywed could find pictorial evidence of their supposed nuptials, leading Danny to quip, "There is no one I would rather not remember marrying than you." When Andre wondered what Danny would tell her daughters about suddenly being married, Danny cracked that she'd say their father had made her do it. They knew there'd be music to face at home. Andre was sure Nicole would come for him once she learned that her nephew was now also her brother-in-law. Though Andre said they could make the marriage go away, Danny countered that no one had to know they were husband and wife. The couple seemed to accept that they were legally bound. At the Lakeview Casino, Marcel confirmed to Joey that he knew their plan. Joey wished he had more people like Malone on his payroll. Derek rolled himself into Ashley's apartment in his wheelchair, thrilled that she hadn't gotten rid of his favorite recliner after he'd moved out. Naomi and Derek surprised their friend, emerging from the bathroom, having made it more accessible for him. But Ashley sensed his unease and sent the Hawthorns on an errand. Ashley said the shower bars were now a permanent fixture, like Derek, but he lamented the bathroom being turned into an outpatient outhouse. While Derek was grateful for the help, Ashley realized he was feeling overwhelmed. She let him know that she was not her patient nor her problem, and promised they could take baby steps. When Jacob and Naomi returned, and there was talk of dining out, Derek admitted he wasn't yet ready for a field trip and suggested working on the kitchen cabinets with Jacob while the ladies went to retrieve takeout. Alone with Derek, Jacob produced the engagement ring that Derek had asked him to bring from his apartment. Derek's proposal to Ashley now felt like a lifetime ago to him. Jacob affirmed that Ashley and Derek's love for each other hadn't changed. Derek decided to hide the ring box behind books that he couldn't quite reach. When the volumes came tumbling down on Derek's legs and he winced, Jacob asked, wide-eyed, "You felt that?" Jacob was ready to celebrate, but Derek had his friend dial it back, adamant that he only felt twinges on and off, which he wasn't ready to jinx or share with Ashley. Derek thought it would be cruel to give his fiancée false hope, while Jacob predicted that trained nurse Ashley would pick up on the change. Feeling that the withholding or conveying of the news was one of the last things he had control over anymore, Derek demanded Jacob's silence. While waiting for takeout at Uptown, Naomi questioned Ashley about wanting to marry Derek when she had already turned the man down months earlier. Ashley pshawed that things were different now. "Yeah, he had a life-altering accident," Naomi replied knowingly. Naomi wanted to be sure that Ashley wasn't with Derek out of pity and requested clarification about what had happened with Andre. Ashley simply said that she and Andre had realized they belonged with different people. She and Derek were destined. At another table, Vanessa met a soused Doug at his behest. He told her he was drinking to remember who she used to be. The unemployed doctor slurred that he was accepting an invitation to a high-stakes poker game. "Like hell you are," Vanessa replied. Doug complained about being Vanessa's side piece and barked that it was too much for her to be decent and respectable. She had to be flirty and dirty. Vanessa was tired of having the same old argument. Derek snarked that their verbal fisticuffs were the only things that inspired any passion in Vanessa where he was concerned. Vanessa tried to shush the ever-increasing volume of Doug, who was ready for his high-stakes game, unless Vanessa was willing to give up their vices together. When Vanessa remained silent, Doug was ready to win big. "With your luck, I wouldn't count on it," Vanessa countered, not sarcastically. Doug got up and left her at the table. Ashley and Naomi saw the McBrides' bitter quarreling and swore not to let that happen in their own relationships. Joey answered Vanessa's summons and could tell from the extra glass that Doug had been drinking at her table. When Vanessa shrugged that one addiction led to another with her husband, Joey suggested a change of scenery and offered to take Vanessa away to paradise to be adored and catered to. Vanessa conceded that she'd always been tempted to go to Puerto Rico, and Joey encouraged her to give in to that temptation. "Let's do it," Vanessa finally consented after some hesitation. At Orphe Jean's, June poured Martin and Samantha water at their table, only to overflow a glass. Samantha said she was always spilling things and sensed that June was nervous. Martin acknowledged Samantha's thanks for not telling Smitty about her meeting with June and then left. June assured Samantha that her boss was cool with her talking to her daughter while on the clock, but was surprised that Samantha wanted her advice after everything. Samantha granted that June had done the right thing for both her and her brother in giving them up. June remarked that being indoors with people was different for her, but she was still floored that she had met the classy Anita Williams herself. With so many wonderful women around Samantha, June reasoned, why did the teen want to see her? Samantha explained the situation with Nathan. June wanted to know if the boy was a good kid who had been raised right, like her. "Nice," June said, was in the things people did, but good came from the heart. And Samantha didn't have to like Nathan back, she added. The entry-level waitress emphasized Samantha's value and told her that boys could wait. She had plenty of time to do grown-up things, and youth was already so short. When June concluded that her daughter shouldn't do things she'd regret, Samantha asked how June dealt with that emotion. "That's a question too deep for break time," June qualified. June became confounded when she counseled Samantha to be herself around Nathan, only for Samantha to say she didn't know who she was yet and briefly stepped away to regroup. June returned and more confidently said that any boy would be lucky to have Samantha on his arm, but restated that the teen didn't need to be worrying about boys already. When Samantha relayed that Nathan seemed so sure of what he wanted, June scoffed that the kid was frontin', since he was as new to romance as Samantha was. "When we like somebody," June expounded, "it gets easy to lean too hard into what they want." And that, the server noted, was when people stopped listening to their inner voices. "Protect that," June implored. "That's how you know you're still you." Martin found Smitty at home working on an article about the impact of biological parents re-entering their children's lives after adoption. The congressman commented that the new piece was quite the departure from the article Smitty had done about Marcel, but wondered if Smitty was too close to the subject. The estranged marrieds discussed setting boundaries for kids, with Smitty saying minors couldn't just do whatever they wanted. Smitty wanted to know where their adoptees were. Martin replied that Tyrell was at the movies and that Samantha was with June. Smitty became angry that he hadn't been consulted and confirmed that he would indeed have tried to stop Samantha from seeing June unsupervised had Martin discussed the matter with him. When Martin insisted that their daughter would be safe with June in a public place like the diner, Smitty reiterated how June had been on drugs for years and how, once again, Martin was keeping secrets from him. Martin maintained that the situation was different because Samantha had taken him into her confidence. At least he had told Smitty the truth, he reckoned. "After the fact," Smitty shouted. "Like you do every single time!" Martin resented Smitty accusing him of having a pattern of lying. Smitty put his foot down that Samantha would have one of them present with her and June going forward, and that Martin wasn't to make any more unilateral decisions. Smitty arrived at the diner to retrieve Samantha and was confronted by Marcel, who told the pesky reporter that he had read Smitty's heavily edited article about him and that he was glad Smitty had taken the high road. Smith smirked that Malone didn't spend much time in that space. Marcel retorted that the air is too rarefied up there for my taste. Smitty let Marcel know that the unredacted piece was on a hard drive in a safe deposit box, which Smitty would publish if Marcel ever did anything to hurt his family. Marcel jeered that the Duprees had far more to lose than he did if the exposé went public and pressured Smitty to delete the story. "Won't make the truth about you disappear," Smitty spat right before Marcel left. Samantha hoped that she could come to June in the future if she was in search of more guidance. June was willing, but emphasized that Samantha needed to talk to her fathers first. Mother and daughter deemed each other amazing, and June cautioned Samantha to focus more on learning and listening to her parents than on boys. When June moved to take care of a table, Smitty confronted Samantha and ordered the resistant girl to wait in the car for him. Smitty found June, who was surprised to hear that Samantha hadn't asked permission to see her, and that Smitty wouldn't have allowed it had he known the conversation was going to happen. He pointed out that Samantha and Tyrell were thriving, and that he didn't want anything to disrupt that. June objected, but Smitty held that the kids were underage and that he could easily put a stop to any visits. When June wondered what she'd done wrong, Smitty relented somewhat and said the kids could see her, but made sure she knew that he remembered how she had let them down in the past. "If you hurt them," Smitty warned a stunned June, "it is the last time either of us make that mistake." Tyrell came home from his movie, talking to Martin monosyllabically and wanting to go to his room. Martin expressed that he missed spending time with Tyrell, though he recognized how disappointed the boy was in him. "All I know about is today," Tyrell answered, when Martin hoped that he would one day understand why he'd done what he had. Martin asked his son if they could make a new start from where they were in that moment, and prepared himself when Tyrell asked if Martin was ready to handle the truth. The teenager voiced that he had appreciated Martin not micromanaging him and Samantha when June had shown up, praising his adopted dad for trusting them to make their own decisions about her. Also, Tyrell had been letting Martin beat him at chess for years. Martin laughed and challenged Tyrell to a game of Menkala, agreeing to tell him all about the bill he was co-authoring as they played. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, September 24th, hint that Naomi Hawthorne will be on the cusp of a crushing loss, while June will save the day for someone. Could these two BTG spoilers be interconnected? Time to talk about it. First off, let's discuss Naomi's heartbreaking loss. Could this be linked to her work, or something a little more personal? She is a lawyer, after all, so it might be about losing an important case. Then again, will someone close to her lose their life? Beyond the Gates spoilers for fall have suggested someone will pass away in the land of Fairmont Crest, and while all arrows are pointing to Doug McBride meeting his demise, there is always a chance that it could be someone else. As June is about to be a hero during the September 24th show, will she lose her life saving someone else? BTG fans know that Joey Armstrong solicited Marcel Malone for a special assignment during the Tuesday, September 23rd show, so there's a good chance that Marcel has been tasked with the job to off Doug. Could June see Doug in trouble and intervene? Could this cost her her life? Then again, June could be the hero in someone else's story, so only time will tell. Added BTG teasers reveal that things will get far worse for Doug during Wednesday's show, so it looks like this will be a must-see episode fans won't want to miss. Speaking of Joey, Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday's show indicate that two characters in Puerto Rico will do something to solidify their romance. This is likely talking about Joey and Vanessa McBride, since they were planning a getaway during Tuesday's show. Still, how exactly will this solidify things within their romance? Do they plan a quickie wedding like Danny Dupree and Andre Richardson did in Vegas on the Monday, September 22nd show? Beyond the Gates spoilers remind fans that Vanessa is still married to Doug, so getting hitched in Puerto Rico to another man seems highly unlikely. However, in the land of soaps, anything is possible, right? He has to have an ulterior motive for getting out of Dodge. On Beyond the Gates, Joey Armstrong has something up his sleeve. How do we know? Well, for one, Detective Marcel Malone is hanging around, and he and Joey alluded to some sort of plan. And in the Tuesday, September 23rd episode, Doug talked about an invitation to an exclusive poker game. Doug and high-stakes poker games do not mix. At the very least, the resentful cardiologist is headed for another financial downfall. At the worst, well, we don't want to go there just yet. It feels like Doug is in a dark place, one filled with countless straight-up whiskey drinks and potential poker games designed to make him fail. He's drinking a lot, and it doesn't seem like he wants to fight for his marriage anymore. He's folded the hand he has been dealt and is resigned to taking the loss. Up until Tuesday, Doug was raring to go. He had plan upon plan to bring down Joey. First, he would use Randy to throw a harsh spotlight on Joey. After all, the casino owner did try to get his then right-hand man to kill somebody. Then Doug wanted to expose Joey and Vanessa's money laundering operation, the same operation he's benefiting from. He was willing to cut off the cash flow in order to salvage his relationship with Vanessa. After Doug left Vanessa at Uptown, she made a call, and Joey later slid right in to take Doug's place. Joey didn't want to see Vanessa down. He ended up suggesting a Puerto Rican vacation. It took about 2 seconds for Vanessa to agree. Oh, she was reluctant to say yes at first, but she got on board super quickly. This vacay will serve 2 purposes. It will separate Vanessa from Doug and solidify Joey's relationship with her. He has been dying to be the one man for her, but for some reason, she couldn't detach herself from Doug, even though their kids are all grown up. It also gives Joey an alibi should something happen to Doug before, during, or after that high-stakes poker game. Joey is colluding with Marcel, and that can't mean good things for Doug. The guy even popped up at Orphe Jeans and told Smitty to delete the true version of the puff piece about him. There's something going down this week. We can feel it. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, September 24th, indicate some major moments in Fairmont Crest. Vanessa McBride and Joey Armstrong solidify their relationship, while Naomi Hawthorne suffers a heartbreaking loss. Plus, June becomes the hero in someone's story. Read more to find out what the new CBS soap will be up to during Wednesday's show. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, September 24th suggest that 2 people in Puerto Rico will solidify their romance, so it sounds like Vanessa and Joey will do something that takes their romance to the next level. But what could that be? Vanessa is already married, so it's hard to think that the couple will get hitched. With that said, this is the land of soaps where anything is possible, so fans will have to tune in and find out. Meanwhile, things get far worse for Doug McBride. Across town, Naomi will deal with terrible loss. What could this mean? She's a lawyer, so perhaps she loses an important case? Then again, could this mean she's about to lose someone important in her life? Other than her immediate family, who don't seem to be going anywhere, her husband Jacob Hawthorne does have a dangerous job as a cop, but it's hard to believe that someone as important as Jacob would exit the canvas. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday imply that June will save the day for someone. Still, will June lose her life in the process? Sometimes being a hero means placing your life on the line to save another human being. Will June do just that? Could June get caught up in Doug's issues with Joey? Joey has concocted a plan to axe Vanessa's husband, so if June stumbles upon a situation at the wrong place and at the wrong time, she may end up becoming a victim in all this. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Wednesday's show? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. Naomi will suffer another blow, as if she hasn't been through enough lately. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, reveal another heartbreaking loss for Naomi. Meanwhile, things don't look good for Doug. June saves the day on Wednesday. Who will she save? Her actions will grant her the opportunity to feel useful and make a difference in a person's life. June has been working hard to turn her life around, so it'll be satisfying to see her pay it back to someone else. Meanwhile, June's biggest advocate, Naomi'S, is about to suffer a heartbreaking loss. She has already been through enough lately. She almost lost her sister when Allison abducted her. Now she's about to lose someone close to her? Is this about June trying to save the day? Elsewhere, Doug's night goes from bad to worse. Unsurprisingly, Doug is in trouble. He is playing with fire, and if Joey has his way, he is about to get burned. Yes, something tells us that the cause of Doug's potential night from hell might have something to do with Joey, because the casino owner is seriously over Doug. Finally, a pair of lovers solidifies their relationship in Puerto Rico. This is probably Vanessa and Joey. In BTG's weekly video preview, they seem to be on vacation, and they are definitely lovers, as they have proved again and again at the casino. Joey is on record as wanting Vanessa all to himself, And in the video sneak peek, he even tells her to take her ring off. He is territorial, and he has made his play for Vanessa. But will their relationship last as soon as they return to Fairmont Crest? It seems like they're enjoying things on a whim, but reality could hit once they get home. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!